Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. You're watching Question Hour, a unique show which gets you latest questions asked by the members in a historic session of the upper house of the Parliament. I'm Rajat Kain. I'm joined with my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. So let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour.
Well, let's start with the first question of the show asked by member Saroj Pandey from Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And he asked about differences between the advanced policy and revised policy on foreign direct investment.
Well, the government has given a very elaborate response to this question, and the government goes on to say that foreign direct investment in India is permitted either through the automatic approval route or the government approval route. The existing FDI policy permits FDI up to 100% under the automatic route in most of the sectors. Government makes policy pronouncements on FDI through press notes, and based on it, necessary notifications are issued under Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. Detailed foreign direct investment policy on various sectors indicated therein, sector-wise FDI limits and sectoral condition is also provided in Consolidated FDI Policy Circular of 2017 as amended from time to time through subsequent press notes, which are available on the website of Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. It has been the intent and the objective of Government of India to attract and promote foreign direct investment and make the FDI policy regime more investor-friendly in keeping view the national interest. In line with its stated objective, the government has put in place a transparent, predictable and easily comprehensible policy framework on FDI. The government reviews the FDI policy on an ongoing basis and makes changes from time to time to ensure that India remains an attractive investment destination. FDI policy provisions have also been progressively liberalized across various sectors to make India a more attractive destination. Changes are made in the policy after having consultations with the stakeholders, including the apex industry chambers, associations, representatives of industries, groups and other organizations, taking into their consideration the comments, the views and suggestions. Further, the government has undertaken a number of FDI policy reforms in different sectors of economy. Reforms have been carried out across sectors such as defence, insurance, pension and other financial services, asset reconstruction companies, broadcasting, pharmaceuticals, single brand retail trading, construction and development, civil aviation, power exchanges, e-commerce activities, coal mining, contract manufacturing, digital media and others as well. And now let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Ripun Bora, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Earth Sciences. And Mr. Bora has asked the government whether India has its own methodology or method to forecast any intense shaking of Earth's surface apart from the instrument of seismometer.
Well, in its reply, the government said no. At present, there is no scientific technique available anywhere in the world to predict or forecast the occurrence of earthquakes with reasonable degree of accuracy in terms of space, time and magnitude. National Centre for Seismology and attached Office of Ministry of Earth Sciences maintains a seismological network of 115 stations for round-the-clock continuous monitoring of seismic activities in and around the country. There is no satellite system to get advance report on earthquakes. Now, steps have been taken to prepare seismic zones map at large scale based on historical seismicity and site characteristics. Bureau of Indian Standard had published seismic zoning map of India. As per this map, entire country is grouped in 4 seismic zones. That is zone 2, zone 3, zone 4 and 5. Out of these, zone 5 is seismologically the most prone region, while zone 2 is the least. Also, seismic microzonation, that is detailed hazard zonation at small scale of selected urban areas like Delhi, Kolkata, Sikkim, Guwahati and Bengaluru has been completed. The reports of Delhi and Kolkata microzonation are available on the website of Ministry of Earth Sciences. These studies are useful for land use, urban planning and retrofitting of the buildings. Moving on, next question was asked by 2 members, Mahesh Podar and Dr. Narendra Jadhav from Ministry of Rural Development. And they asked whether Ministry is working on a social registry, and if they are, then what are the details?
In the response, the government says that Ministry of Rural Development had constituted an inter-ministerial expert committee on June 2, 2017. Terms of reference of this committee include examining the feasibility of updating socio-economic caste census 2011 to live social registry. The expert committee had been deliberating over various aspects on updating SECC 2011 and held 4 meetings till date. It is an effort to improve pro-poor public welfare program within the legal framework. The government further says that on September 12, 2016, the Government of India had sought non-leading technical assistance from World Bank on developing a social registry for improved service delivery of social programs using SECC 2011. Now, the main elements of NLTA were sharing relevant international experience with Ministry of Rural Development on social registries, review of Indian states where social registry like platforms are already operational, provide inputs on options for design of social registry and implementation of roadmap. Now, let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Ashwini Vaishnav, and this one is to the Ministry of Tourism. And the member has asked the government whether the influx of domestic tourists has increased after Swadesh Darshan scheme.
In the reply, the Ministry of Tourism said that under the scheme Swadesh Darshan, it is developing thematic circuits in the country in a planned and prioritized manner with an objective of providing better facilities and experience to tourists, which in turn is expected to lead increased visitation of tourists in these circuits. Ministry doesn't maintain circuit-wise data of tourist visitation of sites developed under Swadesh Darshan scheme. The scheme was launched in January 2015. The domestic tourist visits in different states and union territories during 2016, 17 and 2018 were 1,615.4 million, 1,657.6 million and 1,854.9 million respectively. Well, moving on, next question was asked by member A.K. Selvaraj from Ministry of Minority Affairs, and he asked whether it's a fact that under Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram, schools, colleges, skill development centers, multipurpose community centers, Sadbhav Mandap, Hunar Haat, hospitals and business centers have been constructed on WAQF properties.
In the response, the government says that Ministry of Minority Affairs has implemented Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram, earlier known as Multi-Sectoral Development Program, a centrally sponsored scheme in identified minority concentration areas of the country with the objective of developing socio-economic assets and basic amenities in these areas to bring them at par with other parts of the country. Under the erstwhile MSDP, projects could be proposed by the states or union territories only on government land. However, the MSDP was restructured in May 2018 and now is being implemented as Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. This project provides for construction of projects on land of WAQF or similar land from any other notified minority communities. The ministry has in the current financial year, which is the 2019-20 year, sanctioned 10 hostels, 3 special schools in the state of Karnataka and 18 residential schools in Telangana under this project for construction on WAQF land situated in identified minority concentration areas of the states. Further, the state government of Rajasthan has also proposed WAQF land for construction of Common Service Centre sanctioned by the ministry in 2019-20 in Udaipur district of Rajasthan. Details of these projects are also available online on the website of the ministry. And moving on to the last question of this edition of Question Hour that has been asked by member Hussain Dalwai, and this one is to the Ministry of Labour and Employment. And Mr. Dalwai has asked the government about the domestic workers engaged by private households.
Replying to the query, the government said no such data, year-wise or category-wise, is maintained at central level. However, as per the National Sample Survey, that is NSSO Statistics 2011 and 12, 68th round, estimate 39 lakh people are employed as domestic workers by private household, of which 13 lakhs are male and 26 lakhs are female domestic workers. The central government has not enacted any separate law for domestic workers. However, the central government has enacted Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008 for providing social security to all unorganized workers, including domestic workers. The Act provides formulation of social security schemes, that is life and disability cover, health and maternal benefits and old age protection by the central government. The state government are mandated under the Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008 to formulate suitable welfare scheme for unorganized sector workers, including domestic workers, relating to Provident Fund, employment injury benefits, housing, education schemes for children, skill upgradation of workers, financial assistance and old age homes. The central government in 2017 converged the social security scheme for Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana with Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana to provide life and disability coverage to unorganized workers depending upon their eligibility. The covered Pradhan Mantri JJBY and Pradhan Mantri SBY schemes is for the beneficiaries in the age group of 18 to 50 years and provides for coverage of 2 lakhs in case of natural death and 4 lakhs in case of the accidental death. The convert schemes are being implemented through Life Insurance Corporation of India. A premium of rupees 342, that is the breakup if we calculate 330 plus 12 per annum would be required for the convert schemes. The premium would be shared between the state and the central government in the ratio 50-50. The ministry has urged all state and union territory governments to give the financial concurrence to cover 50% of premium for all eligible unorganized workers. Around 2.83 crore beneficiaries have been covered under this scheme.
So that's it, Rajat and I had for you in this edition of Question Hour. But on the other side, we'll have Prashnikal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please don't go anywhere.